Hello and welcome to the Money Marketing Podcast. I'm Kimberly Dondo, Digital Content Manager, and in this week's Weekend Essay podcast, we have reporter Darius McQuaid with his weekend essay on the frequency illusion of financial advisors. Take it away, Darius.
Numerous times during my life, I have observed that once I'm aware of something, I tend to notice it a lot more often in everyday life. It is nice knowing I'm not the only one to experience this, as I recently looked this up to find this habit is called the frequency illusion or the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. Baader-Meinhof was a West German terrorist group that was founded in 1970. The frequency illusion is also referred to as the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon due to an incident in 1994 involving a newspaper reader in Minnesota in the US. Tay Mullen was speaking to a friend about the Baader-Meinhof gang, and then the very next day his friend called him up to say that the gang were mentioned in a newspaper article. This is despite the gang not being in the news for numerous years. Years later, in 2005, Stanford linguistics professor Arnold Zwicky wrote about this effect in a blog where the term frequency illusion was coined. The University of Macquarie professor in psychological sciences, Anina Rich, describes the mental process behind frequency illusion as there are two parts to it. One part is perception of increased frequency. The second part is a confirmation bias, where you believe that it didn't happen before at the same frequency, but in reality, the frequency hasn't changed. You just weren't noticing it because your attention wasn't being drawn to it. The University of Macquarie is in Sydney, Australia. Since becoming a reporter for Money Marketing, I'm definitely noticing financial advisors more often than previously. The first came about when I was watching a comedy called Man Down on Netflix, which stars Greg Davis, which ran from 2013 to 2017. In the show, Davis plays a drama teacher, Dan Davis, who gets into troubling but funny situations. The show reflects real-life events from Davis' life as he used to be a teacher before becoming a comedian. In the TV comedy, one of Dan's friends, Brian, played by Mike Wozniak, is a financial advisor. Brian's role as a financial advisor comes up numerous times in the show. One joke being when another character, Jo, played by Roisin Conaty, tells Brian she is opening up her own local retail shop, and Brian attempts to help her in the running of it. Jo tells Brian, "No offence, Brian, but maybe you should stick to what you do." And Brian replies, "What, like advising small businesses?" Another show I recently started to watch on Netflix is Ozark, which ran from 2017 to 2022. Ozark is a drama series in which Jason Bateman plays protagonist Marty Bird. In the show, Bird moves his family to the Lake of the Ozarks in central Missouri and money launders for the Mexican drug cartel. Before diving into the world of money laundering, Bird is a financial advisor and uses the skills he learned whilst being an advisor during his money laundering journey. During the show, Bird comes across as very competent with numbers and keeps track of how much money is being moved and where to. As he says, "I know money." It is weird seeing Bateman play Bird, as I'm used to seeing him in comedies. I always remember him as Michael Blue from the comedy Arrested Development, but so far I'm enjoying watching Ozark and Bateman's portrayal of a financial advisor turned money launderer. The third frequency illusion to happen to me is when I was recently walking to Chislers High Street in Bromley, where I live. I came across a company called Dennehy Wealth. Dennehy Wealth is an independent financial advisor firm which has been in my area since 1987. The company did move its offices in 2010 to Chislers High Street, but I never noticed it until 2023 after starting my role at Money Marketing. When you go on Dennehy Wealth's website, the first thing you see is a quote from a Mail on Sunday, which states, "One of UK's leading financial advisors." Since joining Money Marketing, I'm definitely coming across financial advisors far more often. However, as the frequency illusion tells me, this is because Money Marketing's target audience is financial advisors, so I tend to notice the profession far more around me.
Thanks, Darius, for another great Weekend Essay podcast. We do hope that you enjoyed it. Please do keep up to date with all our new releases via Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcast from. You can also keep up to date with all our new content published on the Money Marketing website, as well as our print edition Money Marketing magazine, so make sure to subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. See you next time.